Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Incoming Liverpool goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili appears to be excited about the prospect of linking up with Florian Wirtz next season. Mamardashvili, 24, agreed to sign for the Reds last summer in a transfer deal worth £25 million, but remained on loan at Valencia for the 2024-25 campaign. The Georgia international is now preparing for his move to Merseyside, and he could be followed by Wirtz. The German playmaker is wanted by several European heavyweights, including Bayern Munich and Manchester City. Liverpool threw their hat in the ring with this week by holding talks with Wirtz and his parents in Blackpool. The Bayer Leverkusen midfielder then travelled to Manchester to speak to City. Bayern have long been considered the front-runners, but they're unwilling to pay Leverkusen's reported £126 million asking price. That's opened the door for Liverpool, and talk of him joining the newly crowned Premier League champions is gathering pace. After it emerged that Liverpool executives had contacted Wirtz's camp, it was relayed by Football News page 433 on Instagram. Mamardashvili was among the 1.2 million users who liked their post. It suggests that the soon-to-be former Valencia star would be delighted if Arneslot's side won the race for Wirtz. The 22-year-old is yet to decide his future, though, with Leverkusen in the process of appointing a new manager after Xabi Alonso agreed to join Real Madrid this summer. Wirtz has enjoyed another prolific season, scoring 16 goals and providing 14 assists in 44 appearances. During a recent interview with Sports Illustrated Germany, he revealed that he'd be open to playing abroad. "I'm quite lucky to have so many excellent clubs right on my doorstep and to now be able to play for one of the best clubs in Germany and Europe," Wirtz said. "I have big respect for the guys here in Leverkusen who come from South America or Africa, for example, and leave their families and environment behind for their careers. It's definitely tempting for me to leave my comfort zone at some point and experience something new. I know the football dressing rooms well enough and am convinced that I would quickly find my place anywhere." Wirtz could play his final game for Leverkusen on Saturday as they take on 6th-placed Mainz. Alonso's men, who won the Bundesliga last season, have already confirmed second spot. The gripe of many Liverpool fans stems from the fact Alexander-Arnold is leaving the club for free after refusing multiple offers to extend his contract. A player of his calibre could have netted the Merseysiders a considerable fee, and many supporters feel cheated because of that. But Pearce reminded those critics the West Derby-born star cost them nothing, and he's repaid that tenfold. Not to mention the fact there are plenty of players who arrive at the club for massive fees and achieve very little. In Alexander-Arnold's case, one would think that given his obvious affection for his boyhood club, a comeback one day could be on the cards. The player is still relatively young at 26, but there's a strong chance now any notion of a reunion has indeed been muddied. "You never know, and that's what you've got to be careful of," he continued. In a year's time, if he's got the choice to come back to Liverpool, and all of a sudden he thinks, well, you know what? That when I left Liverpool, that's on my mind still. It just surprised me with Liverpool fans because I thought they had a bit more class than that. They're normally really supportive, and you won't taint their mind on what they see and what they think is right, and what certain individuals have done for the club and how loyal they are to their players. Liverpool have 2 Premier League fixtures left to play this season, and they end the campaign at home to Crystal Palace on May 25th. However, after seeing how he was treated in the game against Arsenal, Alexander-Arnold may not be so keen on the idea of even attempting another swan song appearance for fear of more retribution. 8 players have been shortlisted for the Premier League's Player of the Season award, with 3 Liverpool stars making the cut. The Reds have romped to the title in Arne Slot's first campaign as boss, earning the Dutchman a nomination for Manager of the Season. The trio of Merseysiders to make the Player of the Year shortlist are Ryan Gravenberch, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Gravenberch has recovered from a difficult debut season to make the number 6 spot his own after a failed move for Martin Zubimendi. Van Dijk, meanwhile, has been imperious once again in defence, as he became the first Dutchman to captain a team to the Premier League title. And amid the noise around his contract situation, Salah has fired in 28 goals, as well as notching 18 assists. The trio will battle it out with 5 other players to win the award. Manchester City's Phil Foden was crowned the winner last year, but none of Pep Guardiola's squad make the cut following their dismal campaign. And Declan Rice is Arsenal's sole representative, despite the Gunners likely ending up as Liverpool's closest challengers for the title. Rice has reached double figures for combined goals and assists, establishing himself as one of the division's best midfielders. Also up the prestigious award is Nottingham Forest star Morgan Gibbs-White. The midfielder has been one of the driving forces behind Forest's stunning campaign, helping them to qualify for Europe for the first time in 30 years. Gibbs-White is joined by teammate Chris Wood, with the 33-year-old having scored 20 goals in the best season of his career. Earning his second successive nomination is Alexander Isak. The Swedish striker has fired Newcastle into Europe, as well as scoring in the Carabao Cup final to help the Magpies end their 56-year trophy drought. Isak's tally of 23 goals puts him second in the Golden Boot race. The final name on the shortlist is Bryan Mbeumo, who has contributed 18 goals and 7 assists to another impressive season for Brentford. Salah is favourite to win, having scored 5 more goals and notched 6 more assists than any other player. He is just 1 goal or assist away from matching the all-time record for most goal involvements in a single campaign, a record jointly held by Alan Shearer and Andrew Cole, both of whom set their records in 42-match seasons. Meanwhile, Van Dijk will become only the 5th player in Premier League history to win the award on multiple occasions, following in the footsteps of Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nemanja Vidic and Kevin De Bruyne. Reds boss Slot is the favourite to win the Manager of the Season trophy, after becoming only the 5th manager to lift the Premier League trophy in his first season in England. Many deemed the job of replacing Jurgen Klopp an impossible task, but Slot has risen to the occasion, leading his side to the title with 4 games to spare. Slot is up against Brentford boss Thomas Frank, who has put his side on course for their highest ever finish, with Europe still a possibility. Also on the list is Eddie Howe, after leading Newcastle out of their mid-season funk and into a potential Champions League place. Liverpool have held talks with Florian Wirtz and want the Bayer Leverkusen star to be at the centre a stacked lineup next season. The Reds have joined Bayern Munich and Manchester City in the race to sign Wirtz, who's valued at a massive £126 million. The Germany international has been heavily linked with Bundesliga giants Bayern, who as things stand aren't willing to pay Leverkusen's asking price. That's given both Liverpool and City the opportunity to swoop, with talks understood to have been held in England on Tuesday. Representatives from Liverpool reportedly met Wirtz, 22, and his parents in Blackpool before they travelled to Manchester to meet with City chiefs. Arneslot will be hoping that his colleagues made a good case to the family, with German playmaker yet to decide his future and under contract with Leverkusen until 2027. Slot's ambition is to bolster his squad and have strength in depth going into the 2025 to 2026 campaign. The Reds want to retain the Premier League title and fight to win the Champions League, having exited in the round of 16 this term. Domestically, Liverpool were beaten in the League Cup final, while Slot's decision to rest nearly all of his star players saw them crash out of the FA Cup. But with Wirtz and 3 more additions, Slot and co will be confident that they can do better next time around. Despite the arrival of Georgi Mamardashvili for £25 million, Alisson Becker is expected to start the season as Slot's number 1. It's in front of him where the change begins, specifically at full-back. With the departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold confirmed and Andy Robertson's powers waning age 31, Liverpool's ideal replacements are becoming clearer. Dutch right-back Jeremiafrimpong, Wirtz's teammate at Leverkusen, is increasingly being linked with a move to Anfield, while Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez is reportedly the Reds' first-choice left-back target. The midfield duo of Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister have been the heartbeat of Liverpool's success this term, so aren't likely to change. The most probable outcome is that Wirtz, who can play as a striker, will replace Dominik Szoboszlai in the number 10 position. Szoboszlai has scored 7 goals in each of his 2 seasons with Liverpool, whereas Wirtz has notched 16 and 18 respectively. The 22-year-old also dwarfs Szoboszlai in terms of assists, 33 over the last 2 seasons compared to the Hungarian's 12. That's while playing behind a striker, where the Reds could also look to upgrade. Diogo Jota's injury record this season, coupled with Darwin Núñez's woes in front of goal, have left fans yearning for a new centre-forward. Liverpool have been linked to a host of potential targets, but Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike is a name being mentioned more and more frequently. Ekitike has scored 22 goals and provided 11 assists for Frankfurt, who he joined permanently from Paris Saint-Germain last summer. The Frenchman has been linked with various others clubs, with the striker market a hot topic this summer. Ekitike's age profile would help give the Reds a younger look to their attack, with Mo Salah due to turn 33 this summer and Luis Diaz turning 29 next January. Cody Gakpo could join Szoboszlai in being a causality of Slot's recruitment drive, although the Reds boss has been desperate for that level of depth this season, as opposed to sticking with a select group of 15 or so players. If Liverpool take their momentum from this season into next with some new blood, it could be a daunting prospect for the rest of the Premier League.